Our project was on the cheetah habitat Serengeti snapshot. So for the introduction on this, to begin, we needed an understanding of the Serengeti. Serengeti is a national park, and the Serengeti is rather large, but in this experiment we only used a small portion of that. In this experiment we used about an area of 1,125 kilometers squared, and in that there was about 225 cameras. And in hindsight, the Serengeti is about 25,000 kilometers squared, so really a small portion we used. But the cheetah is a predator in the Serengeti, so with that they need space with shade and open fields for hunting. So the question is what habitat the cheetahs prefer. The hypothesis that we are coming up with is that the cheetah will prefer the woodlands habitat the most. The shade provides them cover and a place to wait, while the open field gives their prey less places to hide. This is predicted because of the cheetah's speed, and a large open field makes perfect parameters for the cheetah to hunt their prey where they have no big trees to hide behind. The cheetah can quickly get to them with that speed.
The study was conducted using the data collected from the 200 camera traps. The data that was collected from these cameras include what type of species, the amount of animals in the picture, whether they have babies, their location, and other variables. All of this data was then put into an Excel spreadsheet. The simplest way found to isolate the data that was needed for the hypothesis was to import the Excel sheet into JUMP. This helped to categorize and separate everything. From there, it was easier to create graphs that showed where cheetahs were most often found. The study was conducted.
So for the results found here, as you can see in figure 1, this would be the cheetah and the amount of captures in each habitat. So looking at it, you can see in habitat 1 and 2, there's very relatively low amounts of sightings seen here. And then when you get to habitat 3, this is where you see the large jump in captures. Number 4 still has more than 1 and 2, but not nearly as much as 3, because you can see at 3 and about 3.5, there's a vast higher amount of cheetahs sighted in that habitat. And that habitat 3 is actually the woodlands habitat, which is what we predicted, as you can be seen here. Alright, now looking at the results continued, we have figure 2. This one is a little bit less straightforward, but still straightforward. Figure 2 is the habitat of the cheetah versus the camera site. As the left side here is the camera sites, and that bottom is all of your habitats. Each one of those little dots represents a sighting at that specific camera site. So you can see 1 and 2, very few dots, very rare that a cheetah was seen there. 4, you start to get more up in the 4 area. There is a significant amount more at 4 than 1 and 2, but then we look at 3. 3 is, as you can see, almost a straight line. It has so many dots.
By looking at the data presented, it is clear to see that cheetahs are most frequently found in the woodlands. According to Broomhall, cheetahs mainly choose their habitat according to what is available, and it was found that they tend to prefer the woodlands as their habitat. It is claimed that this is due to impalas, their main prey. It is also their preferred habitat because it is easier for cheetahs to hunt in open spaces. This allows them to use their speed to track their prey down. Cheetahs were studied to have a larger rate of success in open woodlands in comparison to other available habitats, according to Mills. This would explain why the cheetahs were most often found in the woodlands and that this is their preferred habitat. Due to the data found, the hypothesis stands.
Alright, for the credits here, the video was made in the context of Bio 182, General Biology for Majors 2, Arizona State University, Fall 2022, and the presentation was done by myself and my 2 fellow lab partners.